That's what I heard.
Okay, we'll go ahead and bring the Board of Works meeting to order. We won't give them a chance to read the minutes from the previous meeting on May 2nd.
Yeah. I'll make a motion that we pass the minutes from May 2nd. Second.
Motion is second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay. Jeremy, you want to come up and talk about that remote control mower?
Good evening. Over the last several years, there's been a lot of talk about how we can, ideas on how we can maintain the riverbank a little bit better, mowing and maintenance and such. And when that conversation started a few years ago, we started looking at other areas also, such as detention ponds, some side ditches that we really can't mow tractor and mower. What we've run into and what we've historically tried to do is mow them with a tractor, but we end up getting the tractor stuck. We have to call Pickway Repair to come and get us. Then we have to fix the ditch, we have to fix the bottom of the pond. Some of these places are real safety concerns because you're on such a steep bank. If we're going to maintain these better and eliminate a lot of our sight distance problems for motor vehicles and improve the employee safety, we need to go with a little bit different technology than what we have. The last couple of years, going to different conferences, I've looked at some options, and about the only thing that's really out there is what's called an RC mower. It's made by RC, and it's exactly what it sounds like. It's a remote controlled mower. It's like a zero-turn mower, but it's unmanned. You actually stand on the bank and you run it with the remote control. On the 26th of last month, we demoed one over here on the riverbank. I know Dan and Kevin and a few were at that demo just to see how it worked. Obviously you don't want to spend this kind of money if you're not sure. We've been fortunate over the years on some of our site distance areas with our relationship with the county highway department. They've come in and mowed some stuff for us with their boom mower, but we're really at their mercy. I feel we can do a better job with it and actually mow everything that we need to be mowing, and maintaining the detention ponds if you guys so choose to purchase one of these products. Have you had an opportunity to see any of the videos that were sent to you? Do you have any questions or anything? Reference those videos to start with.
I saw it. It's a track remote control.
Correct.
Bush hog, and how many different attachments does it have?
You can put on like bush hog blades or actual finish mower blades. As you mow these areas, you're going to get rid of a lot of the weeds and a lot of the trees and stuff where the grass is going to have an opportunity to grow. So once you get to that point, then you can put a set of finish blades on it and actually mow like grass. That would be basically your only attachment that you would have for this. It comes with a price tag of $59,000 or $97.50, which is on basically a Sourcewell state bid. Actually, I believe HGAC has this one for this year. I've talked to Kevin and Josh on the utility side, and both of them are very comfortable with that. And if so approved, it would be paid out of stormwater funds because we are maintaining ditches and waterways and ponds and stuff. So there's other applications if you would decide to start mowing some new trails and stuff that could be used. I think you're really going to be interested and really amazed what this thing would do if so approved.
Yeah, I was. I mean, I watched on the riverbank, and it's pretty amazing. And the safety, for the employees. I think you'll find a lot of places you could actually use this. It's on tracks, it's low profile, it weighs about 1,800 pounds, so it doesn't roll over, and pretty nice unit.
My only concern was rolling it down into the, if you're going to mow the riverbank, that's a pretty hefty piece of equipment. Do we contract that out now? Didn't we pay work sometimes?
We did, would have been a few years ago, I think we paid about $15,000.
And they came in and...
To do it one time, and that was a bunch of guys with weed eaters, and the guy told me after they did it that last time, they said, you can't afford this anymore. You know, his employees had the concerns of falling down the riverbank, and some of that bank's eroded.
Yeah, three times of that would pay for this mower.
Yeah, I watched them do that, and it was a mess. I've seen the videos on it. I've seen the attachments. I personally think it's the way to fly. Is it a gas powered or diesel?
Yes.
Gas powered.
Yep.
Did they give you any indication on the life expectancy of the machine?
They really did. A lot of it depends on how you maintain it.
Right.
I really think it'll last us a long time.
Something that you're going to bring into Elm Street then? Is that what your plans are? So Tubby, the mechanic's going to take care of it, which in my opinion is an extremely impressive guy with maintenance. I don't have any doubt that it would be a blessing to our city for the uses that you have.
Tyler, to answer your concern about rolling it down, there is 2 tag lines off of it, one off in the side and one off in the front, where you can actually anchor. You know, if you get in a weird situation where you can actually anchor and hold that anchor moment, and then you also control that with the remote.
Yeah, and it comes with a winch. Well, you can get a winch attachment that it'll pull itself out.
That's what I'm talking about. With the
Oh, okay.
Well, and the other part too is if you do dump it in the river, I mean, you dump the fuel, you dump the oil, dry it out, you
Well, and
put new oil in it. And
with the Kikianga project, we're going to be taking better care of that pond out there too, and with the slope of that, it'd be nice not having an employee on a tractor on the side of that slope.
Notice you haven't been able to mow Homestead either. It's probably too wet to run a tractor in that new retention pond out there.
And with tracks, you're not talking about tracking it up because it disperses the weight too. I don't see anything wrong with it. I think it's in fact, I'll make a motion that I think we ought to purchase this machine.
Second.
All right, motion second. Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, thanks.
Thank you very much. I'm going to take off. Do you guys have anything else for me that you know of?
I don't think so. Nope. Go enjoy your daughter's track meet.
Track meet today.
Did we help you much?
Yeah.
Okay. Kurt, are you ready to do code enforcement or?
Yeah, we can do that.
You guys can share. It would be so easy.
Okay. So, back in June 19th, 2022, Aaron and Vicki Ellis came before Board of Works with their attorney, Mr. Miller. At that time, they were given 30 days to start cleanup on properties located at 321 South 12th Street,
221?
221 South 12th Street, 225 South 12th Street, and 316 South 11th Street. Now, mind you, these 3 properties, they were in pretty bad shape when they purchased them. At the time, before they purchased properties, we were basically sending abatement orders to the previous owner. And between abatement orders, the Ellis's purchased properties. So on 7/19, the Board of Works, it was agreed that as long as the Ellis's worked with the city worked with the Ellis's, they would give them 30 days to make an effort to start cleaning up the property. Actually, on September 6th, the cleanup was still in progression. We gave an extension. On 10/5, cleanup was still in progression. They were making progress. They were making forward progress. And we gave them another extension. On 11/4, code enforcement did a drive-by and noticed a blue truck missing a bed with invalid plates. There was a couple tires sitting out on 321 South 11th Street by the street. Still, there was a bunch of tree pots left from the previous owner. There was 50, 60 or so. The buildings were starting to show a little bit of dilapidation, holes in the lower overhangs with fascia boards missing. There was a gutter on one side. The building midway was hanging down, and there was a small pile of wood. On 11/10, we received a complaint about an unlicensed dump trailer located at 316 South 11th Street and also 225 South 12th Street. Code enforcement visited the site. Neither dump trailers had valid plates. The smaller of the two trailers was located on 225 South 12th. That trailer contains some carpeting, some cardboard boxes, garbage bags, leaves, twigs, miscellaneous other debris. The larger dump trailer was full of trash bags full of garbage. On 11/16, a certified letter was mailed for the dump trailer full of garbage. At that time, Mr. Ellis had a trash removal business called Trash Bandit. It was apparent the larger dumpster, or the larger dump trailer, had trash in it. There was nothing but trash bags in it. So we feared he was trying to use this property as a transfer station for his trash company. So at that time, we sent out a letter basically stating what the uses for that property were currently approved for. Basically, he could either use it for landscape business or the other was a sexually oriented business. All other uses have to come in front of BZA. On 11/23, Mr. Ellis visited our office to inquire about the letter. It was explained to him the only uses that were approved for the property, which was, as I stated before, Mr. Ellis asked about rezoning the property, and we gave him a copy of the Planning Commission application and a copy of the zoning ordinance for an I-2 area. But we did advise him it may not be in his best interest because the Planning Commission doesn't spot them. If he wanted to take it other than an I-1 or an I-2, the Planning Commission won't spot them to a C1, C2. So at that time, he wasn't real happy, left our office. So Brad and I discussed it with Aaron. We kind of, all right, let's back off a little bit. Let's give them some breathing room. They have made, like I said, a considerable amount of changes to the property. It looks a lot better than what it did. On 4/11, we received another complaint about a large number of trash cans being stored on the property. Code enforcement, once again, went down and found probably 40 to 50 trash cans behind the building. The larger dump trailer had been removed. However, the unplated smaller dump trailer at 225 South 12th was still there. The trucks, there was a blue truck on the property that doesn't have valid plates. The sticker says 2020. The gutter that was hanging off the side of the building is now laying off of at that time on the ground. The tires were still there, and there was a small bundle of wood laying next to the building. Erin actually tried to call, and she said the phone rang and rang. The answering machine that would normally pick up didn't pick up. A couple days later, she tried to call again, still no luck. So at that time, we issued a letter to come from the Board of Works so we could see where we're going from here. And the pictures you have of what was taken this morning. I know Brad spoke with Vicki earlier today. I don't know what they've done since then. So
when Vicki and I talked, she talked like somebody was coming with a mower today. So whether it's mowed or not, I'm not certain.
They were all mowed.
What about the bags of trash and boxes? Looks like there's something there. On 225 South 12th, looks like there's 4 or 5 bags of trash laying out in the grass.
In the front of the house?
I'm not sure.
We don't have any of these pictures, so.
It would be the west side of that property.
And you said that those tires weren't previously there and then they showed up there?
no, the tires have been there for a while. They've been there 15 months. Now, I'm starting to get a little concerned about the condition of the buildings.
Yeah.
If they go too much longer, we're going to be forced to condemn the buildings.
I mean, this one should almost be condemned now. Is this a garage or? I mean, there could be animals living in there.
That's an unattached garage that was in horrible condition, and they went through and closed it in at one point in time, so it was completely closed.
Sealed, but then
This has since more damage from animals that's happened. They probably put 15 or 20 sheets of OSB into that thing, so there was some effort put into it and some money spent, but it's all good. It's not condemned.
I think Kurt makes that decision. And if there's holes where animals are getting in, it is very much condemnable.
There's chew marks around the holes. You can see the animals are definitely getting in.
What's being stored in this building? This garage.
The white garage, you guys saw the other one.
It's mainly leftovers from Reinhardt's doors from the house, maybe other houses, because there's more than what I need for that house. There's umpteen, I guess a entire dump truckload worth of extra landscape material we get.
So what's the plan for the bags of trash, the tires, railroad ties?
The tires and the railroad tires are going to take a skid loader to remove. They're in the process of getting one rented to do that. The tires actually like filled, they're under the ground like this. So they can't just pick them up and move them or roll them. They're too weighty. All that was left over from Reinhardt. So the trash bags are from the inside of the house and just haven't gone through. They were cleaned out, they tossed them out, and they haven't taken them out of the yard yet. But they're on their way out. The truck has that, the plate is valid, the tags aren't on it at this point in time. Aaron does have the tags for it. The dump trailer has had a title applied for at this point in time. They just do not have it yet from the DMV. And Mr. Ellis has been making arrangements to get the repairs on the building done at this point.
Do you have paperwork from the DMV?
Did you not?
Do you have paperwork from the DMV?
I guess the question is what's the plan? I guess that's what we need to know.
I mowed the lawn today and took the weed down after they did go out and took the pictures. They were already in the process of being prepared to do that one before the pictures were taken. Again, they're in the process of getting the tires and the wood pile removed. All the trash receptacles are gone. When Mr. Ellis sold his business, he simply moved them there temporarily so the new owners could come pick them up. They've already got them and removed all those. And they're still in the process of getting the buildings rehabbed at this point.
How much time you need to get the tires and this whole place cleaned up?
I can get all the tires and everything out in like a couple weeks.
When's our next meeting? June what?
6th.
June 6th. And those holes are going to need to be boarded up too. You know, the neighbors are going to know that they don't deserve to have animals living right in there. So June 6th, all the things that Kurt brought up can be taken care of.
Mayor, I won't be available on June 6th. I apologize. It's a scheduled vacation out of state.
Okay. Well, we can do. That'll be the date we check it. And I guess we can make a decision as the board works that night.
Yeah.
What your
What's your plans with the roof and the gutters and the holes in the building then?
The 316 South 11th Street has the pictures of the gutter and the roof, and it almost looks like there's a caving in, or is there a plan to address
It is
that?
soft. It will get a new roof. Will it be this season? I don't know. There's so many variables to that. The house has been the concentration to move on from the house, and I already got run that by Kurt when I knew to rent it out. So,
What are you doing when you sell a house?
it's more incredible.
Lay it on fair studs, did you?
No.
Okay.
But Mr. Reinhardt put his extra foot through every wall
Doesn't
and
strike.
door. And the
Okay. Alright, so yeah, before you run it out, we'll do the inspection of the file.
Yeah, I already know that. That's been my concentration. Uncle Dick got electrocuted 3 times, making sure all the was wired correctly.
Make sure you got smokes in the bedroom. Smoke detectors.
It has 1 or 2 that are wired in too.
You have gas appliances. Gas furnace.
Gas furnace.
They give you a carbon monoxide out of the bedroom. Those are the life safety issues we're most concerned with.
Yeah.
Yeah, just call me when you get close.
That's just been, that's project 1. Get the garage completely shored up and a new door in there so we can use that. That was going to be project 2. We move on to 11th Street. It's going to cost me a lot more.
And I understand the garage is project 2, but the holes do need to be sealed up. So the animals.
We can do that. But that's,
All right, let's get the rubbish. Let's get the holes sealed up, and we'll see where we're at in 2 weeks. Or on June 6th, I guess it is.
Just talk to Kurt. I mean,
Yeah.
you would have just had the conversation with him. He's not going to make you bring a lawyer in here and do this if we just
Answer the phone calls.
answer the phone calls. That's all it takes.
I'm not sure who he called. I had no missed calls at my house.
Aaron said she tried 2 or 3 different times, and she couldn't get. She said the one time it just rang. So she waited. She tried again and did the same thing. And she said a couple days later she tried, and there was still no success.
Again.
I know there was one time that I called, and I had that issue, and I waited probably about a half hour, so when I called and then I got your answering machine.
Because
So we were
I've
discussing
got answering
master.
service and I've got caller ID and I have shown no missed calls from, it comes up city anyway and no missed call.
Why don't you check the phone number, make sure you got the right number.
Can you please give me the phone number so I can cross-check it?
728-9844.
Check to make sure she got the right number.
Okay. You got us an update on June 6th then?
Yep, we'll give you an update on June 6th.
All right. Thanks. Is that the only code enforcement you have?
Yeah, that's the only one we have. We'll tell you, Bob Jerry is making an effort.
On the other building?
Yeah, he's got a long ways to go, but he's making an effort. I did want to let you guys know, so we've been, with the code enforcement, we've been going back through records, and it seems like every year, it's like Roger always told me, it was like handing out Christmas cards. We're starting to get to the point where we're spending a lot of time on going back to the same people. So going forward, it's going to be one abatement order. That's it, final. The next letter you get from me is going to be coming to the Board of Works.
Right, I agree. What, you surpassed 500 last year, right?
Yeah, we passed 500 last year. We're at 140 already for the year.
Right.
So,
But, we're at a point, people need to take pride in their property. I mean, that's just all there is to it. And even the people that are scrapping, I mean, that's great that they're taking these materials and taking them and scrapping them. But they don't need to go from everyone else's yard to your yard.
right.
We're seeing that. We're seeing people take piles of scrap from heavy trash and pile it up in their backyard. That's not what it's meant for. You guys are doing a heck of a job, and we appreciate everything you're doing to try to help clean up the town. We need some people to step up and take some pride in their property.
Well, most of the scrappers in town, I have an agreement with them. You got 48 hours. It's got to be gone in 48 hours. Heavy trash week, we don't even look. But
Right.
From Monday to the following Monday when we come in, it better be gone.
Right.
So most of them know that.
Right.
I've got one or two that want to push the envelope.
Right. Again, I appreciate what you guys are doing. Thanks. Kevin, water tower painting bids. I think you have a representative from Dixon Engineering here too?
Paul Stickley with Dixon Engineering.
So yeah, last meeting we opened up bids for painting of the south tower. We received 7 bids total. We've been working with Dixon Engineering for our last tower and this tower as far as getting the specs around and getting a recommendation. I can let him talk to the recommendation. Dixon is recommending LC United to do the water tower painting. They were not the lowest bid. They were actually the 3rd lowest bid. There was some concerns with one of the lower bids with some previous projects, I believe. So that's what.
Yeah, I'll speak to that. You have my recommendation letter there. LC United is the contractor that worked on East Tank last year, and everyone, from what I understand, was very happy with that. So it's nice to go with some familiarity there. The low bid contractor did have issues on other projects that Dixon Engineering managed, and those issues included going over on their contracted time, not completing work satisfactorily, not having English-speaking foremen on the site, which is a problem when you're trying to discuss specifications and requirements. Those reasons they're not recommended by us. We understand that the city has those choices, but we're just sitting here telling you what we know. The second low bidder is a qualified bidder, Petawatt Incorporated, and they would do just a fine job, but they weren't much lower than LC United. And because of that familiarity, that's why we go with LC United again as our recommendation. So with that, if you had any questions for me regarding the contractor selection as well as any questions about the project, I can take those.
What was the low bid at?
Sorry, yeah, the low bid was, paying $223,900. Betawa was at $239,990, and LC United was $248.
Did you have the second page there, Tyler?
Second page.
Oh, sorry.
So this was bid in 2020 for 209, and you added, what'd you add to it?
We had some basically some plumbing underground, and now the valve needs to come out.
And that would all be included in this?
Yeah. And that estimate, was from, what was that?
20?
He had the estimate,
Yeah.
not, it wasn't.
That wasn't a bid, yeah, that was just Dixon's estimate back then of what it was cost.
Okay. And you would assume that, I would ask you, what do you think this additional work is?
Yeah,
With the underground plumbing and stuff compared to back in 20, I understand you're going to have some...
Yeah, I was, with the nature of everything right now in the world, as far as price-wise goes, I was very pleased, especially after seeing the first two bids last week.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Or double what I was hoping. So, no, that's where I was hoping. Right now.
Yeah, there was a little bit of additional work since 2020 added to the project because of some things we noticed on the site, like the valves need to be replaced, and then the cover to the valve pit also had a cracked corner where it's exposed to the air, and so we're going to have that repaired too in this project, and those things were not present at the time of the last inspection.
Okay. How big valves are those? You remember? Like 12 inches or?
Oh, what size?
Yeah,
I think...
pretty good size, right? 14, 12?
Yeah, there's a 12-inch and a 6-inch.
Okay.
The 6-inch is the drain.
Yeah.
And you're going to replace the valves also?
There's an altitude valve in there that hasn't functioned, and I don't know when. So that's how Public Land used to balance the tower pressure, or tower levels, and those altitude valves. Those are out of service, they're not being used, so we're just going to yank them out and replumb it.
And that's part of this?
Yeah.
I'll make a motion that we accept Dixon's bid at
The recommendation.
the recommendation at $248,000.
Do you see a problem with it? Can we do that, or by not taking the lowest bidder? Or?
You have the right, you've reserved the right to reject any bid, but there needs to be a justifiable basis. The fact that we have a recommendation from the engineer as to the contractor is certainly one. You may consider the notion that the low bid has noted problems that our engineer has worked with them in the past and has seen less than quality work and would maybe question the validity of the pricing on that, knowing they've gone over in the past. And then between the second and third bid, it could be noted that there's relatively inconsequential amount between those two bids.
We've had experience with the other contractor for...
We open these bids and ask him to take it under advisement with the department head. He's brought in an engineering firm to make a recommendation. My opinion is I make a motion that we take what he recommends.
I'll second.
Motion is second. Any more discussion? And I do appreciate you guys doing that work for us. And, I'd hate to spend over $200,000 on a paint job and it ends up being horrible, so.
Yeah, we're happy to be here, and we're actually going to be out at the East Tank here soon doing a 1-year warranty inspection.
Okay.
So make sure everything looked good over the course of the last 12 months, so.
Okay. Motion and second to accept LC United's bid. All in favor? Aye. Opposed, same sign. Okay, thank you. Okay. So this is me here, right? Okay. Okay, we need wastewater department's asking for approval to obtain appraisals for homes on First Street. We're looking at a possible tank project. So, Carrie.
We are under our agreed order with items, and that's going to require us building up a second tank. There are multiple sites that we are currently looking at, one of those sites being at First and Jackson, which is where our current tank is. So I was just hoping to move forward with and to get appraisals for 2 properties on First Street. Assuming it's okay to announce the properties. I think the property owners have been made aware of the... Okay. So it would be 310 North First Street and 316 North First Street.
Those are north of the current tank.
The city currently owns the old Vital Care property, and these would be the 2 north of that, so that it takes the city's ownership to an alley. This is again just one of the proposed sites. The final tank site and the phase 4 plan is due to item by June 1st of 2025.
Okay. So again, this is
one question is, what are we doing with the Jackson Street tank that's there now?
That will stay there and be in service.
Okay, it's not functioning totally right now, right?
Functioning.
It is?
There are some additional, it needs to be cleaned out with some other things that can happen.
That's what I
When
mean.
this project starts.
And it's been that way for a while.
Okay.
Okay.
It's just, the amount that costs for doing those sorts of upgrades would make sense to include with this project, since they're already potentially going to be at that site.
I guess I question why couldn't we do this sooner than with that tank? We've known for a number of years that it needs help.
There were updates that were made prior to me stepping into this role. I know there was some concerns about the swirl portion of it that works on the bottom of it. I had asked the manufacturer about that, and they said that it still has an intended function. It still fills up and discharges as it's needed.
Okay.
So she's just asking for permission right now to go to get appraisals on those properties.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. Okay, thanks. The resurfacing of the wastewater treatment plant driveway and the main lift station driveway.
This proposal comes from Brooks Construction. It is using the city's bid for the summer pricing, so the price has already been set. I just wanted to come before you and make sure I had approval to do these things because it is a substantial amount of money. This proposal includes the existing, the main lift station on the Thomas Road. It includes putting a drive there. Right now we just have stone. and this also includes re-milling the drive at the plant from Monmouth Road to the maintenance building, maintenance office in that area, and then a crack fill, seal coat, and restripe of the administration office parking lot. So this would take everything it's been dug up since 2005 when they had to put in the pipe in order to got fixed properly. I'm just looking for permission to move forward with that.
And because we accepted the bids from both asphalt companies, this is already a bid from the yearly
It's my
contract.
understanding from Jeremy that Brooks Construction will be the one doing Monmouth Road, so that's why he said the contract.
So they're gonna be in the area anyways. And
Correct.
I'll make a motion to move forward with the paving.
I'll second.
Motion is second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
And we're not going to discuss the outfall, correct?
No, we are not.
Okay. Okay. Okay, and then I have, we have a new patrolman, Zach Hess. We have to make a matter of record his oath of office and his certificate of appointment.
I'll make a motion to make his oath of office a matter of record.
I'll second.
And then I'll make a motion to...
Motion is second, all in favor? Aye. Opposed, same sign? Okay. And then,
What was the other one?
It's all one.
All one.
Certificate of it, and then you take this out.
right. Did you have anything else for Board of Works?
Oh, wait a minute. Did we, the memorandum of agreement, has anything changed on that for the regional school district? We were going to discuss that this meeting.
We're waiting on
The lady.
permission back.
Okay, so nothing. And then,
No? No. Tyler, Craig, anything else?
Nope. I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
Motion is second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. We will start the council meeting in 10 minutes.